Hello, everybody! Welcome back to another episode of Totem Tribe Gold. In the last episode, we had completed both Seagull and Red Rock Island. This time, we're going to go into Witch Island. Chapter 7 Sudden Disease. Searching for the next totem, we've arrived at Witch Island. We were barely able to establish our settlement before my people started to become ill. They were all paralyzed and hardly could move, or could hardly move. I suppose this is some kind of foul magic cast by an old witch, rumored to live on this island. Surprisingly, the sickness hasn't touched me, as the collected totems protected me from it. Or the collected totems protect me from it. I can't... I'm going to search for that witch. We have to find out how to cure this disease. Here's an ad for the second game. Guro and I will use the protective power of the totems and will set off in search of the witch. As we're the only ones who can walk, everyone else is paralyzed by this disease, including the workers, as we are unable to build anything. Hurry up and search for the witch's hut to find out how to cure this. Alright, so we're just gonna go straight into it. So remember when I mentioned that Red Rock was about as far as I could get before like my hour-long time trials ran out? Yeah, it turns out I actually managed to make it further than that, and this was like the stopping point I could get when it came to progressing this game within those hour-long trials. Welcome to my island, travelers. My name is Jukin the Witch. I'm gonna go with Yukon, honestly. No, I have nothing to do with this disease. There is something deeper in the jungle that poisons the water and lays waste to this island. Lays waste on this island. However, I do know how to cure your folk. Before I grant you this knowledge, I need to finish my potion. I need 10 rare roots that can be found on this island. Please collect them and I'll bring them to me, and I will tell you about the cure. Oh, excuse me. Witch Island is a nice mix-up of pace compared to the other islands where, you know, for the most part, you're just kind of like, you have access to building your units, and then you're going to be doing a lot of fighting. But this one puts a larger emphasis on exploration and not being able to really do much of anything else. Just explore and find, and occasionally solve puzzles. So, I kind of want to mention something that I haven't mentioned yet, and I'm surprised I haven't, but I think I was just too into the rhythm of the game. But, it's the music. I've already made my groans about the puzzle music pretty apparent in episode 3, but I haven't talked about this theme yet. Online on YouTube, there's only a couple videos that like have this music even documented, and there it's referred to as the Tropic Islands theme. In the files, I believe it's just referred to as Tropics 2008, which was likely a reference to whenever the song was made. And it's such an incredible song. I'm just gonna have to let you listen to it just so that way you can understand what I'm talking about. It's just a really good theme, honestly. I don't know about you, but when it comes to music that I really enjoy and I can listen to it for hours, sometimes days on end. And incredibly enough, this is actually one of those songs I still haven't gotten sick of yet. So in these like poison little craters, should have mentioned this, but one of the gems of power if you recall, on Seagull Island was talking about some place that was poisonous and full of mud, I think. And there's a hint somewhere around here. Nope. There's a hint somewhere around this island that tells you to click on the little things. It might be this one. Yeah. I just kind of remember that from my first time playing through Gold recently, so I just kind of figured I'd get to it. So we're just exploring around the island, trying to find any roots we can. We need 10 of them, right? 10, yeah. This one can... Ooh. So here's what lays waste on this island and made our people sick. An evil spirit that follows us. You have to destroy this foul structure once find a cure. That's a translation error. So yeah, you gotta find all the roots so that we can cure people and stuff. Last root is just, oops, it's just barely over here. Let me see if I can click that, there we go. Thank you, now I will be able to finish my potion. As a reward, I will teach you how to train witch doctors. To do that, you have to build a witch doctor's abode. I will assign my personal assistant to help you build it. Witch doctors can cure any disease and will surely help your people. So, you know what, I just realized something. could you beat this level without actually, like, healing any of these people? That seems like a fun idea. I'm not going to actually do that, no. Witch doctors are going to be our healers in the game. But, obviously, this is going to take a while to build, so... In the meantime, we're going to just call back Aruku and Guro. And I want to talk about some things that I had actually learned myself while doing some recording for Totem Tribe Original. Turns out there's a lot more changes that I did not realize were in the original, or that were made for Gold that were not in the original. I'll just talk about some of the ones that like came off to the top of my head. Excuse me. On Red Rock Island, not only is there like an island redesign, but the puzzle needed to solve the or to get access to the idol is completely different. You have these like little, I don't even know what to call them, like statue things or whatever, and you have to find the right order for them to activate the idol. On Seagull Island... Was Seagull Island different, actually? No, I don't think Seagull Island was different in terms of puzzles. Oh, you know what was different? Very interestingly enough, I can't talk right now. I'm just, like, struggling to think, I guess. So if you remember, we have, I think, like 2 or 3 ancient coins right now. Turns out, when I was recording for those previous videos, the coins are just straight up on the ground and not inside chests. So they are kind of partially being treated like just random collectibles you can find in the world, which is kind of cool in a sense, but I completely understand why they put them in chests. It makes them more worth the effort versus just trying to find, you know, just something out in the wild. The way you get the ancient coins seem to be all over the place and completely different compared to how they are in Gold. Be it for the better or for the worse, you know, that's up to interpretation. So this island's honestly just like a really short one. What I am going to do is I'm going to send these scouts. That's going to be Aruku, isn't it? Yep. Nope. Actually, we're going to just keep Aruku and Guro here because there is something past this. What is this called? Noxious Tower. So if you read this guide stone here, it says some areas are impossible to access when you first come to them. However, you'll be able to enter them later after your tribe learns new skills. I'm just going to be blunt with you. Past here, much like on Red Rock Island, is going to be an ice rock, glacier, whatever they're called. We can't do anything about that right now because there is no idol of flame on this island. We'll get access to something that will help us with that actually pretty soon, honestly. It's not too long before we can do anything about that. But this is where the game really starts hammering in the idea of, or really just starts the concept of, come back later to these islands to check for other things. Because, like, obviously right here, you know, you got a chest. We can access it should we be able to bring someone over, but obviously we can't. There's just no way to do it right now. And so in the meantime, our only option is to just start building up a military and taking on this tower. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some time to build up a little bit of a base and just get some units ready for fighting that noxious tower. Alright, so I've got a little bit of a military, and so now we're just going to gather all the troops and just start attacking it. Because, I mean, what else is there to do? I will say, I did check my notes while I was building everything here, and it turns out that this is the first island that doesn't have a redesign. I think moving forward, less and less islands are going to have any sort of redesign, if actually at all. I think it's just those first 6 that had redesigns, more so to make it like, I think I noticed when I was playing through all of them for showcasing the differences. I think they were made shorter and easier so that way the player could get to the gameplay faster, because I will say on islands like Dolphin Island and maybe even Mushroom Island, yeah, the levels are weirdly bigger, which isn't inherently a bad thing, but in the case of Dolphin Island, where you're exploring a bunch of like nothingness, yeah, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. You may as well just like trim the fat, as I've heard it's been called before. So this noxious tower doesn't really pose too much of a threat, honestly. If you got enough witch doctors, you're fine. Obviously this thing's going down fast. Before this tower does go down, I built my own tower up here for the ice block. You probably already know where we're going with this. But yeah, the noxious tower is gone. The source of the poison is destroyed, and the victims of its horrific venom are healed. But the creator of that abominable structure, the villainous shade, has disappeared unpunished. I feel that this was not our last encounter. The next time, I swear, we will make this evil pay for everything. Okay, there could have been a better way to word that, but as you can see, the water changed back to blue for getting rid of that tower. So yeah, that's it for this island. You know, nice and short and easy. Probably wasn't even more than like 10 minutes. Oh shit! I'm gonna check my notes real quick. Okay, we can technically do Blueberry Island, but you know what? We're gonna skip Blueberry Island for next time, because there's a lot to talk about with this island. Chapter 8, Standing on the Edge. Tracing the steps of the shade leads us to the infamous Skull Island. There are a lot of dark stories that say this island is the last sanctuary for restless spirits. I feel uncomfortable leading my people here, putting them in danger, but the tear of heaven burns when I think of this place. Another totem must be here, and our mysterious foe as well. Are you fucking kidding me? This is like the 5th one in a row. Okay. What the hell? We have spotted 3 camps of hostile creatures. They might have a totem. We should train a big army, find the creatures, and defeat them. Battle may be tough. We should build a blacksmith to improve our weapons and armor for our fighters. So this is going to be the first island that actually has us being attacked, and I've got a lot to say when it comes to this island. First off, as you may have noticed, music change. We're not going to hear the Tropics theme for, well, actually we're going to go to Blueberry Island after this, but we're not going to hear the Tropics theme for a long while. So get comfortable not listening to the Tropics theme. However, this one's actually really not that bad. I don't actually know exactly what this one's called on YouTube or in the files, but it's a nice one. You know, I can tolerate this. Oh shit. Wouldn't be a bad idea to get a couple towers up right away. Wow, going straight for Ruku, you fucking bastard, huh? Yeah, so this island will not pull punches. This is the first time where they're going to start testing you to see if you can properly defend your base. And as you can see, there are a lot of skeletons. If you even see in there a little bit closer, you can see some ghosts. We're not going to worry about them for now. Oh shit, that's right. Towers require you to have... Oh, excuse me. Towers are going to require you to have specific buildings to upgrade them first. As you can see, this is becoming a feedback loop where we need a barracks and a workshop to build an archery range to then further upgrade to arrow towers. So it becomes a long cycle. So you can see here we can pick up some bones. Okay. So when I played this version, when I played the gold version, okay, we're gonna get interrupted. Greetings to you, noble chief. I am Tuco the Wise Man. I've arrived to Skull Island to explore the remains of the defensive fortifications of the old times. But alas, I have found the ruins are swarmed with horrid walking skeletons. I hope you can help me in my search for knowledge. If you prevail over the bony warriors and find me any plans or charts, please bring them to me. I can decipher them, and everything that I learn I will gladly share with you. So we just need to bring some designs and blueprints for this guy. When I started playing this island on the gold version, I am pretty sure I bugged the game out, and I kind of messed up with the bones, because there's two methods of getting bones on this island. You can find them naturally throughout the island, and they're going to be quite plentiful. However, you can also find bones by killing skeletons. Supposedly, from what I've heard, you can find all the bones on the island, and enemies should drop enough bones so that way you can just naturally pick them up, or like pick up all the bones you need. Just like scoot that in there. That didn't happen when I last played, and because of it, that screwed me out of an item which we'll find later on. And it's a pretty big one too, because like this helps speed up the game a lot. So by losing that item, all my units were very... I'm not gonna say anything. Wow, you fuckers really just targeted Ruku, huh? I didn't know that. So, yeah, I'm gonna be on my best behavior to try and find all the bones. And here's the thing too, like, as I've stated before, once you complete a stage, there is no restarting it. Well, as soon as you hit that victory screen, that's it, game over. So, if you do not find everything you need and like the game glitches or whatever, you're fucked. So, should I come across the final thing we need for victory on this stage and I don't have everything I need, well then tough shit, I'm just gonna have to restart and play it again, huh? At that point, I'm just gonna cut to the item I need and hope to God everything turns out just fine. Alright, let's get an archery range going. I kind of want to build it right here, but that tower's in the way. As you can see, space is screwing me a little bit. as you can plainly see. This is why I like being extremely space efficient. Wow, you ignore Guro, but you go after Uruku. Alright. I don't want to pull out this, I don't want to call out the simp card, or pull out the simp card, but clearly you're simping for Uruku. And, you know, while I'm here talking about it, I want to mention, because, like, now that I've been looking through a lot of the artwork, the title cards, and promo art for this game, Uruku's... Oh, excuse me. Uruku's very interesting in terms of her design. Not in, like, a... Oh, she's got a very, like, wise and cool design. No. Her figure and even, like, parts of her, like, body just are completely different or missing or changed depending on what art you're looking at. So if we look at her in-game model here, which I feel like was made first and then the promo, or and then like her actual character design later, because I just like I don't know, because like clearly they never had like a solid here's what we're going to stay by sort of deal, because like it's a very low res model obviously for the game. And, you know, there's only so much detail and information you can decipher from this. So, my guess is, when designing Uruku, they made the sprite first, and then they made all the art of her later. Because, between title cards and all the other things, the biggest one that I noticed was, like, her midsection. She'll have a fully fleshed out body, you know, she'll look pretty. But at other times, she'll have a sunken-in stomach, and you can actually see her ribs. Not to sound like a guy, but her fucking breasts are of different sizes at times, too. Another interesting one that I didn't even realize till a friend pointed this out, but her hair color actually changes. She has two different hair colors depending on what artwork you're looking at. In some sprites, or not in some sprites, in some artwork, she has the green marks on her face, and others she's missing it completely. Her crown is sometimes of a or tiara is sometimes of a different size. She has like one leaf pauldron in one artwork. She sometimes doesn't have both in either. She's all over the place when it comes to her design, which really tells me that they didn't have a solid, like, definitive design for her beforehand, which I can only guess is based on the fact that they made the sprite first, after, and then everything else after. Ooh, that's actually, oh shit. Okay, so this is the first instance we're gonna come across of evil eyes. These things are, like, fucking surprisingly deadly, as you just saw there. These things kind of decimate workers and are still doing a pretty good amount against towers. So it's in our best interest to take them out whenever possible. Thankfully they don't really have a way to respawn, so once they take care of them for good, they're out. Because, like, you know, our guys have been trying to construct this thing, and this thing's already almost dead. So it's in your best interest to try and take care of them. But as you can see, arrow towers do incredible work. This is, like, easily why they're, like, so damn good. They could single-handedly shut down entire areas on their own. Whereas, like, stone towers just kind of suck. Would you... Fucking Christ. Bastard. Let's see. So yeah, we're just gonna have to take a little bit of time to build. I think moving forward, time is a lot of times there's gonna be a lot of times where I just probably cut early on in the video just to, like, build my base and whatnot, because it takes a long time, and I know I could be building more huts, but admittedly, again, you really don't need more than 3 to 5 huts. I'll probably just build one just because. Like, put it somewhere. Oh, no, I actually got that. Look at that. What we call space efficiency. So now we can get rid of this tower, because I don't want it. We could put that right here, and it looks nice and comfy too. Let's see. So I'm also gonna play a little passively here too as well, because I want to try and get these bones, as many as possible, because I don't want to lose the potential of missing, or I don't want to have the potential of missing items, because I want to show effectively 100% for you, because this is a game I actually feel like I can do 100% reasonably. It's actually not that hard, and I want to do it because I want to showcase anything and everything possible in this game. But in the meantime, I'll be back. Also, I'm just going to be extremely careless with my scouts, because there's really no consequence to it. Also, oh my god, I actually completely forgot about this. So the official way to play these to play Totem Tribe and Totem Tribe Gold is through Encord's website. You know, that's all fine and dandy. However, you can find third-party distributors that have the game, so that's definitely a way to play the game without like Encord's ads for their other games on there. Which, if that's what you want to do, by all means, go ahead. But I think the best way to play the game is through Encord, and the reason why I say that is actually surprisingly like quality of life. Only through their website can you press middle mouse and you get a magnifying glass where you can see things in greater detail. This is surprisingly useful, and it could be extremely beneficial when trying to look for minute details, especially like with difficult hidden objects, because like this blends in pretty damn well. In fact, all these items right here blend in pretty well, and they only kind of stick out if like you really squint and like looking. I mean, like zooming in, you know, you can see that gem is always right there, but if you're not really looking for it, or if you're not really paying attention, you're not gonna see it. But another great quality of life feature is actually being able to scroll in and out. Fun fact with the others, or with like third-party releases, that you can't scroll in and out, which is really kind of weird if you think about it. But it's such a vital thing to do that I feel like I really can't recommend any other way of playing this game other than through Encord's website, just simply for these reasons alone. Because they just feel so vital to the gameplay that it doesn't feel... It feels a little restricting when you can't zoom in and out, especially when there is no way to change the resolution manually. So having those quality of life features is just really handy, and makes the game feel a lot more accessible and more polished. Alright, you know what? I actually have a different plan in mind. We're just gonna start making progress. What we're gonna do is, I'm gonna completely ignore these idols, because this idol here requires 20 bones, and this idol up here requires 10 bones. However, bones are also used for a third item, which is why I'm opting to ignore it. However, I just heard a couple bones drop. Okay. Because what we're going to do is, I think it's right here. Maybe not, I don't know. So, either way, we have to go push into these, effectively, 3 settlements for... yeah, we gotta destroy these miniature settlements, and destroy these mud towers too, because these mud towers are actually what's causing the skeletons to spawn. This is the first time we've actually had to fight like an enemy tower, and I think it's like one of the only few times we actually will. That's wow, how did I not notice that? Design these things. Okay. That's you know, that one kind of surprises me, I'll be honest with you. Alright, so I don't know if you noticed, but there's some destroyed debris right there, which we can use to build another tower. Or that's an indicator to build another tower, so we're gonna go and do that. In the meantime, we're gonna give the designs to the ultimate. Ooh, let the song sing eternally. Glorify the brave and strong warriors of Hawk Tribe and their most beautiful and wise chief Iruku. The designs you brought, we can learn some secrets of ancient craftsmen that otherwise could be lost forever. These designs, they even say it, or even spelled it right here, also contains complete plans of a mud tower, and now you can upgrade your towers to give them the ability to drastically slow down approaching foes. So with that, we've now unlocked the Wise Man's House, and as you can see here, it provides a lot of important stuff later on. The Wise Man also acts as a research building. In my opinion, if you're going to research anything from the Wise Man's House, it's definitely going to be building tools. The Wise Man's House is kind of like the cornerstone of what you're going to be building for like everything later on in the game. It's that important. Despite this, the research he provides is aside from building tools, kind of shitty, because like basic towers just kind of fucking suck ass, and mud towers, which we'll get here into momentarily after I build one. I'm gonna let him finish building or researching building tools. Alright, so now that we've done that, we're going to build ourselves a mud tower. I'm going to build in front just because that way it has a better chance of actually, like, hitting the target. Let's see. Did I miss anything in the meantime? This chest down here requires us to find 7 rusty keys to unlock, which we'll find throughout the course of the island, but for now we're going to focus on doing other things. So we build this tower, we have access to mud towers, you know, all fine and dandy. And there we go. So maybe, yeah, we're gonna get access to some skeletons. Mud towers fucking suck. They're oh man. I mean, that seemed pretty plain as day, as you can see. There is an upgrade for mud towers called Slimy Mud. Deals more damage and covers a greater area. Mud towers provide a couple different things. They kind of act as an AoE damaging tower. Obviously it's slow, but in return, mud towers provide the ability to slow enemies. They're one of the only things in the game. I think they might be the only thing in the game that actually slows enemies down, which is fantastic. You would think you want to be building them all the time. Oh fuck, these mud towers. Like, okay. Oh, they also get more range, I guess. Like here, I mean, they look like they're doing pretty damn good there, and maybe so, definitely. But early on, or later on in the game, they really aren't useful. I can think of 2 instances where mud towers are genuinely useful. Otherwise, you're kind of just better off with arrow towers, all things considered, because mud towers can't even hit enemies in the sky. So, I don't know, they're just not good, for the most part. They're useful in very, very niche situations, in my opinion. And that won't come into play for at least 10 stages. Yeah, 10 stages. Which is a shame too, because like for like something that provides an actual status effect within the game, you know, you think it'd be really good, but it just like half the issue comes from the fact that arrow towers are just already really good. I mean, just case in point, you know, it's just you've seen it before. Arrow towers already do really good on their own. But that rant aside, we're gonna go send the army up here. Just kind of let them do their thing. And as you can see here, 25 bones to unlock this chest. I'm going to use it on this chest first because I'd rather lose access to these idols than lose access to this item right here. Traveler's Boots. What is this now? Boots? Ah, the Traveler's Boots. That's a really handy find. With this pair of boots, we will run twice as fast. Well, I overstated, of course, but faster than before, that's for sure. Oh my god. I need this. Because I played through the entire version of Gold my first time around without this upgrade, and it was fucking painfully slow. Scouts were slow. My army was slow. Workers were slow. I think even Guro and Aruku were slower. That's how fucking painfully bad and slow it is. And it speeds up the game just so much more. Like, I won't have to, like, it makes my job for editing these videos so much easier, because like now I won't have to wait as long. And like, enemies or units can get back to combat faster. They can get out of combat faster, and it's just... Traveler's Boots make the game so much faster, and it's crazy too, because like speed isn't necessarily like an actual component, or mobility isn't a component of this game. I would say is quintessential. You know, some games like, I mean, like obviously Spiral Knights is one, but Team Fortress 2 is another one. Games that generally have like gameplay revolve around mobility, or that have mobility as a possible component of their gameplay, tends to be one of, if not the most powerful stats. And while movement speed really doesn't matter here, it helps a lot with speeding up the gameplay, because this game can admittedly be slow, and without Traveler's Boots, you're going to be playing levels for very, very extended periods of time. I mean, I feel like I might be going in a circle with my explanation of Traveler's Boots, but like, maybe it's just because my grievances with not having Traveler's Boots was just that bad. Anyways, so now, yeah, we're just kind of destroying everything, and so far we have not... Oh, we have found the totem. Oh shit. The Tear of Heaven flashes when I put my hands on the Totem of Lizard. With 4 totems and the Tear of Heaven combined, I feel like I am almost able to predict the future. I have a strange feeling, though. Something sinister is coming our way. I should have put more towers up. That was a bad idea. Okay, maybe... Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Good thing we got those Traveler's Boots. What you can do in really shitty situations like this is, just put up buildings, or start constructing buildings as just a form of poor defense. It mainly is for distraction, really. And then, like, towers kind of do it best, because, like, you can use them as both as a distraction and a way to deal damage. So, before we go in, I want to move down here and find the last 2 items that we need. The last... Actually, was it 7 keys? It was 7 keys. Alright. And with that, we get another coin. And all of that glitters is gold. Nice, what's the reference? All-Star reference. But this is definitely a gold coin. We'll keep it. Its prior owner doesn't need it anymore. We're gonna head back this way with the army, because there is this bone chest here that we actually do need. Let's see. See, this is the thing I encountered last time. Is I kind of destroyed everything, and it says we need 30 bones to activate the idol of these two idols here, but I don't see any more bones, and strangely enough, it's exactly 4 bones. So I don't know if I just kind of killed everything too fast again, or if this is an actual problem with the game. I'm going to bet that it's... I don't want to bet it's the game, but I have a feeling that may actually be the case, so... If you're playing this game alongside me, do not activate these totems right away. Get the Traveler's Boots right away. Because if you want to get quote-unquote 100%, the Traveler Boots is what probably counts, and these idols most definitely don't. So there was a Scarab right over here. That's going to be important later on. For now, it's just treat it like a collectible, much like the coins we've been getting. It does mean something important later on, but for now, it's just vanity. So while we're sitting here waiting for units to return, which frankly won't be that long, may as well just build another building while we're at it. Man, it's just so nice seeing these guys actually move faster than what I was used to before. Oh man, my life is gonna get so much easier when recording these videos, because like it was a really long slog to try and get these units to move anywhere. So yeah. And it means construction will also be faster too, because units will be, the workers will be moving to the buildings faster, which is fantastic. You know, Traveler's Boots help with like they don't help necessarily with combat; they help with economy. I mean, they can't help with combat, but I think it's best in this case for its economy. But as we move into this hidden valley, you see a gem and ourselves a shade. So this is what caused all that trouble. An evil spirit. The malicious shade that we must defeat by all costs to bring back peace to everyone. This shade, if I'm correct, doesn't move out of this hidden valley here. That's the hidden valley. Yeah, hidden valley. But this is our first instance of actually combating shades. Shades are interesting in the fact that, like, they don't have animations. They actually straight up do not have animations. Which is kind of funny. But it's also a little goofy. Like, they have sprites for their attack, but they don't actually, like, move. They have different angles for their sprite. Like, they have different sprites for what angles they're looking at, but they straight up don't have animations. I think that's less to do with the like the budget of the game. It's just kind of a weird design choice. And you know what? I'm all for it. In a sense, it kind of makes them a little foreboding in like a T-posing for dominance sense, because it kind of looks a little like what they're doing, just instead of to the side, it's straightforward. The shades were the original T-posers. Holy shit, that's a fucking thing I never thought I'd say. Victory at last! Our mysterious foe has been defeated, so our struggle wasn't for nothing. This day is going to be a great holiday for all the people of the Hawk Tribe for many years to come. And with that, this island is complete. Another thing to mention is that I don't think Skull Island actually has had a rework, so there's nothing to worry about that in terms of like changes. But with that, I'd like to thank you guys so much for watching today's episode of Totem Tribe Gold. In the next episode, we're gonna hit the Blueberry Island and maybe even the Frozen Vale. But with that, I'd like to bid you guys farewell. Bye-bye.